What message do you have for the people watching to give this Hanukkah?
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, it is a remarkable thing that once every 19 years, the calendars come back in sync. That's because the Jewish calendar is a very complicated interplay between the lunar and solar calendar. It's always the same time of month and always the same time of year. And that's a delicate trick. So that's why it takes 19 years for things to line up again as they are today. The message of Hanukkah really is about holding on to those ancient traditions. That calendar was set in stone almost 2 millennia ago, and yet we're still playing by the same script. You look at wokeness today, well, look at what the Greeks tried to do to the Jewish community over 2,000 years ago during the Chanukah story. They were trying to tell the Jewish community, we're in charge now. You have to follow our ways. You have to observe our holidays. We're going to set up an idol in the Holy Temple. You're going to do our Olympic Games in the nude. You're going to go to our Colosseums. A lot of Jews fell for it. So a lot of familiar things to today, where so many people from backgrounds of biblical faith and biblical knowledge are falling for wokeness on college campus and learning how to hate and how to have discord and how to throw out acquired human knowledge in favor of these new ideas and bigotry.
And Rabbi, there's still about 100 Israeli hostages being held by the terror group Hamas in Gaza. It's the second Hanukkah with hostages still being held captive, including some Americans. Here's what House Speaker Mike Johnson had to say last week.
We all know that 2024 was a very difficult year for Jewish Americans, and on college campuses and, of course, in the land of Israel itself. Yet in the face of vitriol and war, the Jewish people have shown unshakable strength and optimism and resilience. It's been very inspiring. And that's because we believe the light of truth always overcomes the darkness of terror.
And Rabbi, your thoughts on this coming year? We're going to have President-elect Trump be sworn in January 20th. What is the impact that he's going to have on both the hostages that are being held in Gaza in terms of when they could be released, negotiating and so forth, and then also when it comes to anti-Semitism in the U.S., particularly on college campuses, which President Biden really didn't say much about whatsoever. Your thoughts on those two factors and how Trump will impact them?
Well, I was with Speaker Johnson. I was in the room during that. It was a Capitol Hanukkah reception, obviously held early because Congress is now out of session for all sorts of obvious reasons. And yeah, what he spoke was very, very powerful words, and it was very clear coming from him. He said, I'm looking forward to what's going to change under the new administration, that they're going to actually be able to take action. If you look at what the House of Representatives has done this year, they've done so much to expose the anti-Semitism on campus, the double standards. And now a new administration is coming in where they'll actually be able to do the things, to react to what they've revealed, to act on that knowledge. And the Trump administration, Donald Trump, has already threatened. He said, if they are not released before I take office, it's going to be very, very bad for Hamas. I mean, you have to look at the lies being told. A decent human being, let's put it this way, a decent human being would wait until the hostages have been released and Hamas had surrendered before beginning to accuse Israel of genocide. It's simply crazy. It's barbaric. It is evil to accuse Israel of genocide where Israel's obvious agenda is the release of the hostages and the surrender of a genocidal terror organization. So we have a new administration coming in that fully understands that people have been indoctrinated in ridiculous forms of hate, which, by the way, is very, very old. We're very familiar with the Nazis.
All right, Rabbi Yaakov Menken, thank you so much for joining us on the first night of Hanukkah. We appreciate it. Have a good holiday.
Thank you.
Happy Hanukkah. We'll have more National Report right after this.